Hi, my name is John, and I'm an addict in recovery. And you know, I'm kind of like having all these feelings. I think that's what I want to talk about, just feelings, and sometimes dealing with the feelings. And how sometimes those feelings feel real. And sometimes I don't really know what the feeling is. Like sometimes I'm just feeling something, but I don't have no idea what it is, and because I don't know what it is or why I'm feeling that way, um, sometimes I become a little bit afraid or like, just wondering what the feeling is. Um, I know, that sometimes I wish I had a little switch that I can turn them off or turn them on, and the truth is that, like I use because of how I felt. Like I was always, trying to change the way I felt. Like I always wanted to, if I didn't like the feeling that I was feeling, an uncomfortable feeling, and sometimes, y- I would, I would take a drug or something to try to make me feel different, and still today, like sometimes, like I know that part of this process of being in recovery is to be able to feel the feelings that I'm having, and not to try to cover them up or not to try to do anything to change them, but to feel them out, and to deal with whatever it is that because if I don't feel it, what's going to end up happening is that eventually that feeling will come back, and it'll continue to come back till I end up feeling it, you know. At least that's been my experience. A lot of times, I'll have a difficult time with some feelings. Some of the feelings that I have a difficult time with is, like being discouraged, disappointment, um, discontent, uh, um, sadness, loneliness sometimes, it's a difficult feeling for me sometimes. Um, you know, um, there's just quite a few of them that really tend to drag on with me, especially, and fear is like one of those, right on the top of the list. Like fear is definitely one that sometimes takes me for a loop, because I get caught up, because sometimes I don't know what I'm afraid of, and sometimes I'm afraid of my own shadow, sometimes I'm afraid of somebody else's shadow, sometimes I'm just afraid, I become afraid because of what I see in somebody else, and so, like, today, I guess I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of, uh, you know, um, nervousness, and like, I don't know if it's a happy feeling, but I feel emotional too. I feel like I want to cry, and, and the last, like I definitely know that it's just some feelings, and sometimes I get up, feeling like that. So, today I guess it's one of those days that I'm feeling, a bunch of feelings, and sometimes they come from left field, from the right field, from right, and then it's, sometimes it has to do with the experiences that I've had, throughout the past, like, something that I might have done yesterday or the day before yesterday, and like I'm, reaping the rewards today. Maybe it may be a happy feeling. I mean, um, sometimes it's just hard to put my finger on it. Like, it's not a sad feeling. It's not a sad feeling. It's almost like, and sometimes you like a finish, like a feeling of unfinished business. Like when you haven't completed something, like you need to continue to do something more, like, or there's something that you need to do that you haven't done, like that feeling that comes behind it. So I guess what I'm doing is I'm trying to describe all the different types of feelings that there is, you know and at least the ones that have been, you know um that I've been going through, and I guess, maybe it might be the fact that, I'm supposed to be sharing, you know in a couple of days. I'll be, I'll be speaking at a meeting, and And that's ironic, right? Because I could sit here and talk about myself on a freaking video cam, but like I'm getting a little nervous about speaking in front of a bunch of people at a meeting, you know what I'm saying? And I, it doesn't get old, like I still get nervous. I still go through some feelings, behind it. Sometimes I rehearse what I'm gonna say, like I don't intentionally rehearse it. It just happens, like like throughout the day until I get to that meeting. Like things will just keep flashing into my head, like, oh, you need to talk about this, or you need to talk about that. And I guess everybody does it, I guess. Like you think about what you could say, and then when you get there and you say it, it's not exactly what you thought you was gonna say. And then after you're dealing with the fact that like what you could have said or what you didn't say, and you still like explaining. I don't know if this ever happens to you guys, but like I sometimes have these conversations, like this conversation with other people, and the people are not even there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm having this conversation in my head, like, telling them exactly, like sharing myself, and having this conversation, and there's nobody there. You know what I'm saying? And I've had that, especially when like I've argued with somebody or whatever, like, I'm still arguing with the person even though they're not even there already, and I'm on my way home. I'm still arguing with them at home, on my way home. Like I'm still having this argument. So, and it all comes as a result of these feelings, feelings that continue to sometimes get out of control, within me. I love this program. I love the fact that I feel. I'm so glad that I do feel, because it, like when I'm feeling, like it lets me know that I'm alive and that I care. Like if I have these feelings, that there's a reason that I'm having these feelings. Like, I mean, it has to do with caring. It has to do with having a heart. It has to do with being human. So I definitely am grateful that I am feeling. And I just sometimes, it'd be nice if the feeling would come with a name, like if it would say, here I am, this is loneliness. Hi, this is, anxiety. Hi, this, like if it would be funny, right? If each feeling would do that to you, it would come up to you and say, hey, excitement, happiness, and um, that's part of this process, finding out what those feelings are, and how you react to them. And reacting to them is that's another thing, being able to be comfortable in the feeling. Like if you're feeling really good about yourself, or you're feeling, and you're having a difficult time accepting that, because you've never felt that before. Because that was something that happened to me in the beginning too, feeling all these strange feelings, and never having to done it, do it before, and being able to get through them clean. Because, like, I always have a saying that if you haven't done it clean, you haven't done it. So I mean, it's not my saying. I stole it from somebody. At least you hear things in these meetings, and you tend to make them yours. But it's definitely something. Uh, you know, it's definitely well, um, it's definitely a saying that I use quite often, and I'm grateful for these sayings. They've saved my life, and anyway, if nobody told you they love you today, I love you, and so does my higher power, and stay clean. And thanks for listening.